Hi guitar mates, I hope you are doing well and I appreciate you joining me today. Now in this lesson we are going to be looking at the song Different World by Maiden. This was the second single from the album A Matter of Life and Death and was released in 2006. The song was written by Steve Harris and Adrian Smith. Now this is a great song for the beginner who is comfortable playing power chords and simple scale lines. We are going to be focusing on the parts that were recorded by Dave Murray. I will be doing a more in-depth look at what Adrian was doing through the song, and that will include the guitar solo, and it will be available on my premium channel. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's have some fun. So grab your guitar, get it tuned up, and let's get into it. Right, let's look at that opening riff. I'll play it through and then I'll break it down for you. So it goes like this. Okay, the version that I had seen that I took this from was a live version I've made of playing, I think, played it in Germany. One thing I did notice that when I was watching all of the guitarists at various points in this song, when they're playing this riff, they was always doing an up and down motion through this. What I'm playing is I'm playing an E5, which is on the A string on 7th fret, and also I've got my third finger on the 9th fret, on the D string. And I am playing this line, which is going. That's the chords that I'm emphasizing. So it's all happening here on the D string. So I got two of them. Then I put my little finger on the 10th fret, back to what would be the E5. Lift my finger up so I'm playing 7/7. And then back to the E5. So you get this. That's what you're hearing. Yeah, if you play the downstrokes, then you have this little line that's been played the first time, which is going like this. Which is just, we're doing a 7 on the A, 9, 10, cross over to the 7 on the D, and then back down. We do the 10, 9, back to the 7, and then you're back into the riff. Then we play the riff again, that kind of chord progression. The second riff, we're playing this. So I'm starting that off on the 7th fret on the G, go across to the D10, D9 and D7, and then across to the 10 on the A string, 9, back into the riff. So if I played them slowly, now you're going to play that loop 2 times. On the second time, where we're going into the verse, you're actually going to finish on the power chord on the E. So you get it like that, because predominantly through this song, you're always playing the power chords on the and of the 4. So you get this 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're always playing them slightly, and if you're playing them on the 1, it just really feels like it's slowing the whole track down. So as you come out of that, and at that point you are now into the verse. Now the verse really couldn't get kind of too hard on this. We are playing that E, we've come out of that, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. to the riff again. So what we're playing there, like I said, we've come out of the riff on the intro. We are hitting the E5. You've got to hold that for 2 bars. You got 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going down to a C5 again on the and. Move up to a D on the and of the 4. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you've got this riff, which is good. So now that's the proper way. You are playing 7 on the A, crossover. Now, where I do it, you cross over to the 4, to the 5. These are on the D, up to the 7, and then back down. So 7, crossover 4, 5, back down 5. Now, you don't go back to the note, you go back to that power chord, which again is at the start of the line. 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the second time, instead of going down to the C, you're going down to the G. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. 2, 3, 4. And then you go back into the riff. So as you're coming out of that. So that one just needs a little bit of price. Once you come out of the verse, you go into that intro riff again. You play that through the 4 times, and then you're back into another verse. Play it all through the verse, and then you are into the chorus section. Now in the chorus section, still the same thing where you're introducing on the and of the 4. So when you're moving across from that, you've got the verse, you're going back onto that. So I don't think they play the riff going into the verse. When I've heard it, I think the bass is playing, but I don't believe the guitars are. So you're coming from that, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think it's being played, that riff. I didn't hear it. I know on the top of the show, on the times I've seen the show, but I don't hear it going into that chorus, which is that G chord. Right, now we are into the chorus section. The chorus section is very dominant in this song, but it's not a continual flow of the same chords all the way through the chorus, which is kind of typical for what Maiden and all the other bands do. So what I'm going to have to do is break it down in little stages for you. So what we're always going to be doing, though, is we're always going to be playing on the and of the 4. So we've come out of the verse and we've gone into that G chord, which is introducing the chorus. Now there's this section that goes like this. So I'm going to take you in from the G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is just the opening section of the chorus. So we're playing from a G to a C to an A5, back to the C5, to the G, to the C, to the E. Now it goes into a more of a regular pattern that you can hear, and we're going to be playing this line. It goes like this. It goes out. Now we're going into a more regular pattern that goes like this. So when I'm doing that, I'm doing an E5 to a C5, G5, D5, then repeat. Now, at this point, you are now going to go into a pattern. It's very similar, but I'm just going to show it. It's the easier way. So we're just doing now, we're going to do an E5 again. But instead of going to the C, we're going to go to the G and then to the C. So you go. And you can do that 3 times. and then you go to an A, to a C, to a D. So after that last one, A, and you're going to hold that for 2 bars. So that is one rotation of that section there. Then you are going to go back to this, which is the G chord, C, A, C, G, C, E, which is what you played at the beginning, if you recall. Then we've got that rotation where you're going to play an E5 to a C to a G. You are going to play that 2 times. So you get then to close out the chorus, you are go back to an E5, C, G, and that is the complete cycle of the chorus. It gets confusing at first. You've got to see that pattern that's occurring. But I would suggest I write them down in order. Coming out of the chorus, we go back to the main intro riff. You play through the main intro riff the same as we did on the previous times, apart from the last section of it. So we are entering the final phase of the intro and we're getting this. We have that. So it's an extended bar on the end of that. So let's just go through what that riff is first of all. So we are starting on normal. We're doing that. We're doing a 7 on the G. Then we go across to the 10, 9 on the D. But now what we're going to do, we're going to go back on the 10, 9. So we get 10, 9 to the 7. Then we do a 10 on the A. Back to the 9, 7 on the D. Then we do a 10, 9 on the A. To the 7 on the D. And then a 10, 9 again on the A. And then we finish with a 9 on the G string. So if I do that nice and slow, we get like that. And that then takes us into the harmony section. So what I'll do, I'll play through the harmony section and then we'll just break it down. Now we are looking at the section that is played by Dave Murray. The harmony is then created with Adrian Smith. So we're just going to really focus on what is being played by Dave. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, easier than a kind of a repeated pattern that we've got there. The bulk of it is going to be played on the B string where we're doing an 8-7. You can do that as a pull-off, but I like to pick that. So I do a 8-7 on the B string. And then I come down and I play the 9 on the G. Now you're going to do that twice, but the timing that you're coming in on is on the and of the 3. So you get this 1, 2, 3. And it's always the same going across the bars for the next 4 on the next 5. So you get this 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. You're going to play that twice, 8, 7, 9, 8, 7, 9. And then you're going to do an 8, 7 going to the 7 on the G. So 2, 8, 7, 9s, and then an 8, 7, 7, and then back to the 8, 7, 9s. And you're going to do that 3 more times. So 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Now, when we've done the third one, we then get this quicker one. So we're getting that coming, and then that would hold. So that first line there, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. And then we go back to the 8, 7, 9. 2, 3, 2, 3. Now you've got to play that 8, 7, 9 3 more times. Then we've got a little quick move again. So we get 2, 3, 2, 3. Now that time we went 8, 7, 9. Going down to the 7 on the G. Then we go back to 2 more 8, 7, 9s. And then on the B string we do an 8, 7, going to the 10. And that takes you to the end of the harmony section. So all that there on the tab, very easy to play through. Nothing too hard on that. And do remember though, like I said, we are playing the section of the harmony that is by Dave Murray. Now, let's go through and just look at what Dave is doing through the solo that is being played by Adrian. And I'll take you through that stage by stage. So let me just play it through, and again, I'll just break it down for you. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Okay, you've played this before in the chorus, or part of this through the chorus section. You're starting off, and remember, you're coming into the solo on the end of the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you start off on E5, 2, 3, 4, move down to the C, to the G, and you've got to play that 3 times, that sequence. So you go back, and again. Now, coming to the back end of the solo, instead of going back up to the E, you go down to the C5, 2, 3, 4, down to a B5, 1 fret back, 2, 3, 4, up to the D, and you hold that for 2 bars. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You also make sure you hit the actual 2 strings in the correct time as well. So that is what is being played by Dave through the solo that is being obviously performed by Adrian. And from there, we go back into a chorus section all over again. So we go all the way through the chorus, which we've already looked at, and then we come to the end of the chorus. We're into the outro section. The outro section is that normal riff. The only difference being is that we don't play that final riff. We just finish on the chord, so we get this. And that is the end of the song. So the only thing we do, we just drop that last. We don't play that. And that is all of the sections that are being played by Dave Murray for the song.